Well, this is Greg. You're listening to Rocket Science. I'll be here till 10 o'clock this evening when T-Money comes in, play some hip-hop for you. Special show this evening. In a few minutes, we'll be talking to Yardbird founding member and drummer of the Yardbirds, Jim McCarty. Really looking forward to that. The Yardbirds will be in town next Tuesday, August 28th at B.B. King's in New York City. I should say in the area. And going as strong as ever, this edition of the Yardbirds, featuring Jim and Chris Drea, the bass player, as original members, with a great supporting cast. A fellow named John Iman and Ben King. Well, John's playing bass, I think, and singing, and Ben King is playing the guitar. Just outstanding guitar player. And Billy Boy, the harp player, just adds even more to the mix. So let's hear a track from an album they recorded, strangely enough, coincidentally, or however you want to put it, at B.B. King's in New York City last summer. And of course, it's called Live at B.B. King's Blues Club, the Yardbirds. We're going to hear a song from their album a few years back when they reunited. It's an album called Birdland, and this song's called Please Don't Tell Me About the News. 91.9 WNTI, public radio from Centenary College, the Yardbirds. 91.9 WNTI, public radio from Centenary College. The Yardbirds from their Live at B.B. King's CD, out earlier this year and recorded last summer in New York City. Please don't tell me about the news. And I've got two good things to tell you. Speaking about news, one is the Yardbirds will be playing at B.B. King's New York City next Tuesday, August 28th. And the second one, which is even better, is that Yardbird drummer Jim McCarty is with us on the phone. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Craig.
Oh, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Good.
Well, you guys are very busy this summer. I appreciate you taking some time out to call in and chat with us here in northern New Jersey and northeastern Pennsylvania.
No problem. We're just in Chicago for a couple of days, and we're actually not working, so it's quite unusual to be not working in Chicago, so we thought we'd maybe go and see some blues men playing tonight.
Oh, you're in the right town, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, I was reading this morning. I didn't realize this, but the first recordings that the Yardbirds did were with a blues legend, Sonny Boy Williamson.
Yeah, that was one of the first ones, yeah.
Wow. I mean, you were just kids.
Yeah, I know. It's really a strange combination of us and him. We were just, young white boys from the suburbs of London, and, he was an established great blues legend. It's a very strange combination.
Well, this recording, or the CD that I played just now, was done at the place where you're going to be next Tuesday, B.B. King's in New York City.
Right.
And what a terrific night that was. I'm so glad that they put that out. And I'd like to say thank you to Russ Garrett, by the way, for
okay, yeah.
But what a terrific night that was. And, walking out of that, trying to explain to people how good that was.
Great.
Was hard to do. And now I don't have to explain anything to them. I just give them the CD and...
Well, there you go.
And
it's always such a good atmosphere. It's a great, it's one of those old-fashioned vibes in B.B. King's in New York. It's got the old sweaty atmosphere of the 60s.
Well, you have quite a history in New York with the Yardbirds and such. When did you first come to New York? 65-ish?
Probably 65. Yeah, we would have... I can't remember where we played, if we did indeed play, but I know when we first came we had some work permit problems, but 65, 66, we probably played in New York.
Well, I think you did the Ed Sullivan Show, if I'm not mistaken, and I know you did shows like Shindig, and you were on all the shows back then, with the other British invasion groups like the Stones, the Animals. Yeah. What a great period.
I think we missed out on Ed Sullivan. I think the first one we did was Hullabaloo.
Oh, okay.
That was in New York.
Had those girls dancing in the cages, right?
Yeah, that's it. And they'd have sort of famous actors coming on and singing. It's very unusual.
Well, speaking of famous people, when you played at B.B. King's in New York City last summer. Our special guest here, Jim McCarty of the Yardbirds. There were people from the Ramones there. Little Steven was there. The place was packed, sold out, I should mention.
Yeah.
There was quite a buzz going on. And, it's funny. This year, in the summer, I'm sure you've heard about all this by now, the rumors that was circulating.
About Jeff and Jimmy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think at the moment that's just a rumor. I don't know about where it came from, but you never know. We might manage to pull that off one day, but I don't think this year's the year for it.
Well, I heard Little Steven on his radio show, which actually airs on this station as well, and he mentioned those rumors.
Right.
And he said, well, really, it doesn't even matter because they have a very cohesive working band that sounds great with new material and doing more than honorable, just treating the golden hits, very well. It just actually updating them a little bit and treating them very well.
That's very nice of him. That's very nice. Yeah, I like little Stephen. He's such a nice guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah, and the thing that I was thinking about too was just your diversity, even from the Yardbird days. How you guys could go from a Gregorian chant into this really nasty blues thing, into this rock or garage thing. It was very interesting listening to the compilations that they have out now of all those discs.
Yes.
How they sit next to each other. And you yourself are a very eclectic man, with musical tastes that are very eclectic, I should say.
Well, yeah, I love all sorts of music, and I love to create all sorts of music too, if I can. It's not always so easy being a drummer, but I can play some other instruments and stuff, and I love different types of music. But we always started in the blues. We were well rooted in blues music, and we just, wanted to make it a bit more original, a bit more, futuristic, really.
Well, you sure did. Especially, Eric Clapton, of course, in the early days. But when Jeff Beck, who was only with the Yardbirds for 18 months, which blows my mind because the impact. Him along with Jimi Hendrix just changed the way people played guitar up to these days even. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah, he was always totally off the wall the way he played. And it really suited us because we wanted to go in these, strange directions. And so it was a good mixture.
Well, some of the other projects that you got involved in, over the course of the years, the group Renaissance. It was you and Keith Relf.
Me and Keith Relf started that band, yeah.
And was that his sister singing?
Yeah,
originally?
Jane, yeah.
Yeah. And these blues projects that, I was unaware of them until I met Russ Garrett. At these Chicago things you did with the Yardbirds, the Pretty Things Yardbirds, Chicago. Oh my God, that stuff is great.
Well, it's always nice to team up with other musicians. You never know what's going to come out of it, and especially musicians that people like the Pretty Things, you never really saw them much in the 60s because we'd be playing on tour the whole time, playing at different places. But it was good to team up with those guys.
Yeah, and of course, Studebaker John, a Chicago native.
Oh, it's fantastic, fantastic.
Yeah, if you run into him out there, tell him I said hello. He is terrific.
Okay, Greg, I will.
It's funny because the last time I had you on the show, I had you one other time on the show, and I was all excited about it. It was a week before, and anybody within earshot, I just nail it. You know who I'm having on the show, I tell them.
Right.
And Studebaker John was passing through town playing in the local blues club here, and I told him about you coming on the show, and his eyes lit up, and we started talking, and he mentioned that one of the catalysts for the Birdland CD, the reunion that you did, or when you was that 2002 or thereabouts?
Yeah, 2003, yeah.
2003 was that. He had noticed when you guys were touring the Pretty Thing Yardbirds blues band that the majority of the attention, and no slight on the Pretty Things because they're terrific, but was people were very, very interested in the Yardbirds name and the whole...
Yeah, they were, I remember, actually.
Yeah, and that might have been, one of the catalyst. I mean, I'm sure there were other ones too for putting the franchise back together and making all this great music the past few years.
It all helped down the years. So many people were never lost interest, and especially in America, they were always had a very long memory, and it was very gratifying to come over and be so honored by all all these great American musicians.
Well, another American musician that you teamed up with was the bassist from Canned Heat, Richard Hite.
Yep.
And this is a very interesting album called McCarty-Hite Project.
Right.
Weekend in Memphis.
Yeah. yeah. It was one of those ideas that came up out of the blue as well, and it was just really an excuse for me to go to Memphis, hang out with some other musicians, and have some fun. But some quite good music came out of it. Actually, it was good.
Oh, there's some great stuff, and you do a remake of a Yardbirds classic, Over Under Sideways Down.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's just amazing what you guys did with that. There's this Zulu stomp on there, and
yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah, and it sure was. And more recently, you've gotten together with some of the musicians from, well, they call themselves the British Invasion All-Stars, but what a lineup. I mean,
oh, right, yeah.
Like, well, Dick Taylor's in it with that from the Pretty Things, right?
Yeah, Dick Taylor's involved. I'm trying to think. There's
Matthew Fisher.
Matthew Fisher.
Yeah, from Procol Harum.
Procol Harum, yeah. Yeah, there's Eddie Phillips out of The Creation. Who else? There's the old singer Ray Phillips from the Nashville Teens.
Oh, wow. And Don Crane.
Don Crane with the Downliners set, yeah.
And Mick Green.
Yeah, Mick Green played on a couple of songs.
Wow.
Mick's great, yeah.
And, you know, the stuff that you did on, the songs that you covered were just terrific. I mean, you did a Yardbird song, Shapes of Things. You did Mona, was that a Hawkins song? I'm not sure, but...
Bo Diddley song.
Bo Diddley, yeah.
Yeah.
Green Onions you did.
Yeah.
It's just a terrific album. And then you had the Jim McCarty Blues Band. And is this the only album that you put out, this Outside Woman Blues?
Yeah, it was actually.
Wow.
Yeah, that was when I teamed up with John, who's actually the singer of the Yardbirds now.
Oh, John Iden, yes.
Yeah, and we had a blues band playing in London.
Yeah. What a terrific album that is. And, you know, you had this guy, Ray Majors.
Yes.
Oh, my God. Can that guy play?
He was very good. Yeah. Yeah, very good. He played with a later incarnation of Mott the Hoople.
Right. And Rod Demick from the Strawbs.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
It was a good lineup. It was a good little band, actually.
So, you know, the Yardbirds, getting back to the Yardbirds, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. It's just very...
I've done a lot of things in the last 10 years.
Well, you sure have. And, you know, that's what we're here to tell people about, because these are terrific CDs, you know.
Right.
It's always fun to play them and have people, you know, go, is that new? I mean, what is that, you know? And,
yeah.
And, you know, the Yardbirds Birdland album.
Right.
You know, you treated, you revisited some of the classics, of course, but there was some beautiful new arrangements or just new material, songs like Crying Out for Love. And,
oh, right, yeah.
Mr. Saboteur was one of the new ones.
Yeah.
Don't Tell Me About the News, which I played. And you had some great guest guitarist on that as well.
Yeah, we had people like Jeff Beck came in for a track, Steve Vai, Brian May, Slash played a track.
Skunk Baxter.
Jeff Baxter, yeah. Joe Satriani. I mean, it was fantastic, some of the people that came along.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a name that riles up people that are fans of British blues and rock, you know, especially that had been around and witnessed that 60s phenomena. The Yardbirds are like royalty when it comes to that genre, and it's no wonder that all these great musicians want to play with you guys.
Well, it was great, yeah, because they'd all played our songs when they were in their first bands.
Yeah, that's right.
Great, you know.
I saw this. I forgot all about this song that you covered with the Yardbirds. You did "Hang On, Sloopy."
Oh right, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we did it before. It was actually a hit for whoever.
The McCoys, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Well, you know, the schedule that you've been keeping this summer, I was amazed to see all the ground that you guys are covering. I mean, the East Coast, the West Coast, and then, you know, back to...
oh, right, yeah.
And how many more dates do you have left?
Let's see. We've got a good half a dozen probably now for in America. Yeah, probably about 8 dates maybe.
And you've been touring in Europe. You're going to finish up the year in Europe.
We're going to play again in Germany in October. But we played a lot of summer festivals in England, and a couple of dates in Austria and Hungary. And in October we're playing in Germany and also in Prague.
Wow. Our special guest, Jim McCarty of the Yardbirds, tonight here on 91.9 WNTI. Yardbirds playing at B.B. King's in New York City Tuesday, August 28th. And in hour 2 of tonight's show, I'll be giving away 2 pairs of tickets to see that great show. And Jim, are you still living in France?
I am, yeah. I'm very happy there. I live down the south in Provence. And it's a nice culture. It's very relaxing. It's nice weather, and it's very inspirational down there.
Yeah, a big artist colony, I imagine.
Yeah, there's lots of artists.
I was talking to guitarist Snowy White earlier this year, and he was telling me that he was moving to France, and he mentioned the same reasons that you just stated for moving there.
Yeah. I can understand it.
Well, you know, the $1 million question, I guess, was the DVD that everybody seems to be clamoring for these days. Is that still in the offing, a Yardbirds DVD?
Well, it's always a hope, you know. If we get the right combination together in the right place and at the right time, let's keep our fingers crossed.
Well, we certainly will. It's a lot of fun just having you on the show here, Jim. I know you're so busy, and I don't know where to begin, and I don't know where to end, because there's just so much about you. But I'll end with this: is that what a personable and nice man both you and Chris are from the Yardbirds, and the rest of the band are terrific too, because I managed to watch you guys hang out afterwards, have a lot of laughs with the fans, and you are definitely enjoying yourself, which makes it that much better for the fans when they go to see them.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot, Greg. I don't think we could do it if we didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, you know, you don't need to do any of this, and it's just, you know, the fact that this is this is what you are and who you are, and you just do it so well that it's got to be done, Jim.
Yeah, really.
Oh, well.
Thanks a lot, Greg. That's very nice.
Well, you know, Jim, I just want to thank you again, and I want to thank Russ Garrett. And, you know I'm going to be talking to people later, and they're going to say, why didn't you ask him this or that? And to be honest with you, when I hang up the phone, I'll be probably saying that to myself, too. But
you remember all the questions you should have said.
Yeah. Well, you do 3 interviews. The one you were going to do. The one you should have did. And then this one.
We're all a bit like that, Greg. Yeah.
Hey, well, all the best to you. This is Jim McCarty of the Yardbirds playing live at B.B. King's in New York City this Tuesday night. And, you know, Jim, I'm going to end this segment here with a song called New York City Blues.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Okay, thanks so much, Jim.
Okay, Greg.
Cheers.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, Jim McCarty of the Yardbirds and New York City Blues, 91.9 WNTI, public radio from Centenary College.
If you ever been to New York City, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, you do. 5'8". I said, I want you to love me. She said, wow, man, that'll be great. So, I got long hair, but she took me back to see her pad. But the first thing I saw when I arrived there was a big black shiny shotgun in the hands of her dad. All right now, this time was, oh no. This song is just for you.
ahead of his feet.
WNTI Public Radio from Centenary College, the Pretty Things Yardbirds Blues Band. No questions off their Wine, Women, and Whiskey CD, recorded in Chicago in the 90s. We got a date here, 93. And some of the featured players, of course, Phil May from the Pretty Things on vocals, Dick Taylor from the Pretty Things playing lead guitar, and Studebaker John, slide guitar, harp. Can Heat's Richard Hite, the late Richard Hite, and our special guest this evening, earlier this evening, Jim McCarty, the drummer of the Yardbirds fame, and still going strong, playing with this edition of the Yardbirds at New York City in just a few days, Tuesday, August 28th, B.B. King's Blues Club. I'll be giving away tickets to see them in an hour or two, and playing lots more Yardbirds, as well. We heard from Jim and Richard Hite, something they called the McCarty-Hite Project before that. Weekend in Memphis, the name of that CD. We heard a reworking of the Yardbirds classic Over, Under, Sideways, Down. Started that set of music off with some Eric Clapton era Yardbirds, New York City Blues. Well, this is Greg. You're listening to Rocket Science. Thanks so much for stopping by. Let's keep it moving right along here. This next track is from the British Invasion All-Stars. We're featuring Jim McCarty. We're going to hear them doing a song called I'm a Man, which I remember the Yardbirds also doing way back when. So here goes it. 91.9 WNTI, Public Radio from Centenary College.
Alive. Now I'm a man, past 21. I tell you, baby, have a lot of fun, 'cause I'm a man. I spit it in, A-child. baby. By our time, 'cause I'm a man. Spell that M-A-M. Spell that M. Spell that M. Spell that M. Line I shoot, will never miss. Make love you, baby. Can't resist. 'Cause I'm a man. Spell that M. Spell that M. Spell that M. Man. Oh.
.919 WNTI, public radio from Centenary College, the British Invasion All-Stars, I'm a Man, featuring Jim McCarty on drums. In the background, the Jim McCarty Blues Band, Heavy Weather, from his Jim McCarty Blues Band CD, Outside Woman Blues. This is Greg. You're listening to Rocket Science. Be back in hour 2 to give away tickets and see the Yardbirds at BB King's in New York City. This is Heavy Weather. See you on the other side.
This is member-supported 91.9 WNTI Hackettstown, Dover, Washington, and worldwide at WNTI.org. Public radio from Centenary College. 19 WNTI.
Public radio from Centenary College.
A listening experience designed around you.
.919 WNTI, public radio from Centenary College. That's the Box of Frogs. Back where it started. And have to fess up to you, I didn't start that one at the beginning. Anyway, that's off the 84 LP, Box of Frogs. It's a Yardbirds spin-off featuring our guest earlier this evening, Jim McCarty, along with Chris Drea and Paul Samuel Smith from the Yardbirds, and Jeff Beck appears on that track. Well, this is Greg. You're tuned in to Rocket Science. I'll be here at 10 o'clock. Glad you could stop by. And in this hour, I'll be giving away 2 pair of passes to see the Yardbirds at the B.B. King's Blues Club in New York City, Tuesday, August 28th. But first, let's dig into Jim McCarty's catalog a little. This is the 2003 CD the Yardbirds put together, I guess about 35 years or so after the breakup, first time around with this band. And the original members would be Jim McCarty and Chris Drea. And this CD was called Birdland. And this is one of the new original tunes that appeared on that CD. It's called Crying Out For Love, the Yardbirds, here on 91.9 WNTI. Public radio from Centenary College.
You made it very clear how you feel about the way you put me down whenever I'm around. What you're thinking of, you're crying out for love, crying out for love. Your bitter words today are another way of hiding how you feel, hiding what is real. What you're thinking of, you're crying out for love, crying out for love.
91.9 WNTI Public Radio from Centenary College is the station, and we're streaming live over the internet to WNTI.org as well. That was Mona from the British Invasion All-Stars. The Yardbirds Family Tree, Birds of a Feather, the name of that compilation. And that track, like all the tracks we're playing tonight, features Jim McCarty, Yardbirds drummer. Some of the other notables on that collection of songs, Eddie Phillips, Creation, and Chris Dreja from the Yardbirds. In the background, Rod Price, China White. Couple of pretty things as well. Phil May and Dick Taylor in on that project. Well, anyway, that was the Yardbirds. Here 'Tis before that. And I know I got in trouble earlier in the show mentioning an Eric Clapton era song that in fact Jeff Beck played on, so I'll watch my P's and Q's about that, but Jeff Beck did play on this one. It's called Here 'Tis, and originally came out in '65, kind of a compilation album called Having a Rave Up. But many of these songs have appeared on so many compilations in the ensuing years that I'll just try and give you the original source. We heard from the Yardbirds Experience before that. Riffmaster, the name of that song, off a somewhat rare CD in the mid-'90s. I'll thank Bob for that one. British Thunder was the name of that CD. Noel Redding in on that, along with many of the aforementioned people from the British Invasion All-Stars. And we started that set off with the 2003 reunion CD from the Yardbirds called Birdland, Crying Out For Love. Well, let's hear another track from that that Yardbirds Experience CD. The Yardbirds, of course, kind of morphed into Led Zeppelin. The early version of Led Zeppelin was called the News-Yardbirds, not for long though. But some of the songs that Led Zeppelin did in their early days were first performed by the Yardbirds. You know, Dazed and Confused was recorded as I'm So Confused. And we're going to hear a song that Zeppelin did, and I think Jimmy Page got in a little trouble with Willie Dixon. So I'm just going to give you the title, and you can listen to the song, and I hope you like it. Here's Whole Lotta Love, the Yardbirds Experience, here on 91.9 WNTI Public Radio from Centenary College.
anyhow. Said I ain't never missed a woman. Anytime or anyhow. I ain't never missed a woman. Wow, like I miss my baby now.
That's Yardbird drummer Jim McCarty and original Yardbird guitarist Topham from a mid-90s Peter Green tribute album called Rattlesnake Guitar, doing the Peter Green Fleetwood Mac classic Drifting here on 91.9 WNTI. And that was the Yardbirds Experience. Just prior to that, a mid-90s, thereabouts, British import called British Thunder. And Noel Redding from the Jimi Hendrix Experience, one of the members of that band, along with Jim McCarty, amongst others. And that was their version of Whole Lotta Love. Not going to say whose song it was. I don't want to get in trouble. Well, this is Greg. You're listening to Rocket Science. I'll be here at 10. And short break. Be back to tell you about the weather. And I'll be giving away 2 pair of passes to see the Yardbirds this Tuesday, August 28th, at BB King's in New York City. So I do hope you can stick around for that. 91.9 WNTI, public radio from Centenary College.
NPR's
Jim McCarty Blues Band here on WNTI. Title track from Outside Woman Blues. Big thank you to Jim McCarty calling into the show this evening. Jim, the longtime drummer of the Yardbirds, appearing at BB King's August 28th, next Tuesday in New York City. And congratulations to Ren and Steve, who each won a pair of passes to see that show. Couldn't have to a bunch of nicer guys, and I apologize for all you who couldn't get through and I couldn't give tickets to. I wish I had a barrel of them for you. But thanks for listening and thanks for calling. Well, this is Greg, the show's Rocket Science, wrapping up things here. T-Money up next with her hip-hop show. Hope you can stick around for that. We heard a very rare version of I Wish You Would from the Yardbirds. It appeared on a 71 compilation called Remember, and it's an extended demo version. Though these days there's things popping up everywhere, but the literature I read about this said this is the only album that appears on, but of course that could have changed. Started that set of music off with Mr. Saboteur, the Yardbirds, from live at BB King's, as performed in 2006. And again, congratulations to Ren and Steve for an opportunity to see that great band at BB King's in New York City. Well, let's wrap up with one more track from the Yardbirds Experience. And this is from the compilation called Yardbirds Family Tree, Birds of a Feather, that appears on the Moorland Streets Records compilation just out last year. And so mentioning Moorland Street Records, I have to say thank you to Russ Garrett for all his help and all this great music he has put out concerning the Yardbirds, Jim McCarty and such. A true British blues fan. Well, this is the Jimi Hendrix Trilogy, so thanks for hanging around tonight. Hang around a little longer. T-Money up next. And we leave you with this great piece of music. I'll see you Tuesday night, filling in for Cable Man Dan, 8 to 10 p.m. Cheers.
This old age I kissed the sky.
This is member-supported 91.9 WNTI Hackettstown, Morristown, Easton, and worldwide.